Escape rooms have exploded in popularity, offering immersive puzzle-solving experiences that test intellect and teamwork. They promise an hour of intense fun, locking players into themed environments to solve a series of interconnected challenges. While they are a global entertainment phenomenon, the reality is that the confined space, time pressure, and specific requirements of the activity make them profoundly unsuitable for everyone. We must acknowledge that what is thrilling for one person can be genuinely stressful or even debilitating for another. The challenge of an escape room is multidimensional, often colliding directly with pre-existing psychological boundaries and personality types. This isn't just about enjoying a game, it's about navigating high-stress situations designed to challenge typical comfort zones. Certain psychological conditions, personalities, and expectations simply cannot reconcile with the core mechanics of being locked in a themed box under duress. Understanding these potential clashes is essential for both players seeking enjoyment and operators running the experience.
One of the most immediate barriers is the physical environment itself, particularly for individuals dealing with claustrophobia or generalized anxiety. The requirement of being intentionally locked into a typically small, enclosed space, even with emergency overrides, is a potent psychological trigger. This feeling of confinement can quickly escalate from playful suspense to genuine panic, negating any possibility of enjoyment or sustained puzzle-solving focus.
Modern escape rooms often utilize intense sensory stimulation to enhance immersion, including flashing lights, loud sound effects, sudden scares, or persistent background noise. For individuals with sensory processing disorders or those highly sensitive to light and sound, these effects can quickly become unbearable. The constant barrage of visual and auditory stimulation makes sustained concentration impossible, turning the challenge into an exercise in endurance rather than intellect. Despite improvements in accessibility standards, many older or highly themed escape rooms still pose physical challenges that exclude players with mobility issues. Narrow hallways, multiple level changes, requiring crawling, or manipulating heavy physical props are common obstacles. The game format, which relies heavily on movement and physical interaction, must be considered carefully by those needing accommodations or specialized mobility assistance. It is crucial to inquire about specific room layouts before booking to prevent disappointment. The 60-minute time limit is arguably the engine of excitement, but for individuals prone to high-functioning anxiety or performance-related stress, it becomes paralyzing. Watching the clock relentlessly tick down can trigger an internal panic response that shuts down logical reasoning and problem-solving abilities entirely. Instead of engaging with the puzzles, the player becomes solely focused on the dread of failure and the public nature of the countdown. Escape rooms thrive on unstructured chaos. Multiple puzzles are often available simultaneously, requiring players to choose which thread to follow first without clear direction. For personalities that require clear, linear instructions and step-by-step guidance, this open-ended structure is deeply uncomfortable. Individuals who need routine and sequential processing may struggle when the goal state is ambiguous and the path to solution is deliberately convoluted and non-sequential. The environment demands sustained, shifting attention across various simultaneous tasks, which poses a significant hurdle for those with attentional challenges like ADHD. The constant stream of clues, background music, distractions, and intense team chatter makes it difficult to maintain focus on any single puzzle long enough to solve it. The rapidly changing stimuli can lead to profound frustration and a feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed by the task list. While teamwork is crucial, highly competitive or dominant personalities often struggle to share the spotlight or delegate tasks effectively within the time limit. The alpha player may take over the group, dismissing the valid contributions of others, or rushing through puzzles without confirming the logic. This behavior not only diminishes the experience for the rest of the group, but often leads to critical errors that prolong the escape. Conflict also arises when players have drastically different expectations about the level of required effort and seriousness. A casual player expecting a light social activity will clash fiercely with a highly motivated player focused solely on breaking the room record. When half the team is intensely focused and the other half is treating it purely as a secondary social outing, frustration is inevitable for both sides, leading to significant group tension. For some, the public nature of the challenge, being watched by a game master and performing alongside peers, magnifies the innate fear of failure. This intolerance can manifest as severe analysis paralysis, where the fear of making the wrong move prevents them from making any move at all. The pressure to succeed for the group overrides the intrinsic fun of the discovery process itself, turning enjoyment into a performance review. Escape rooms often rely heavily on lateral thinking, wordplay, misdirection, and abstract concepts, requiring players to think outside the literal box. Highly literal or concrete thinkers may find the ambiguity and lack of direct causation frustrating and illogical, unable to make the necessary leap of imagination. They may miss obvious nonlinear solutions because their cognitive framework demands strict adherence to sequential, defined rules. Certain escape rooms incorporate highly niche external knowledge, such as specific historical facts, obscure literary references, or esoteric scientific principles. Players lacking this specific context may feel entirely useless or excluded, realizing the puzzle relies on information they could never deduce internally. This reliance on outside facts, rather than pure logic, can make the game feel unfair and alienating. Successful escape requires complete trust in teammates, effective communication, and efficient task division across the group. However, pre-existing interpersonal conflicts or deep mistrust among group members are amplified tenfold under the pressure of the clock. The necessity of relying on someone you distrust to handle a crucial clue often collapses team dynamics entirely, causing a breakdown in coordination and effort. Before the door locks, players receive a torrent of rules, safety protocols, and game guidelines, often delivered quickly and verbally by the game master. Individuals who struggle with auditory processing or retaining multi-step verbal instructions will start the game at a significant disadvantage. Key constraints or primary objectives may be missed, leading to unnecessary confusion and wasted time during the critical opening moments. While not necessarily triggering panic, many rooms require sustained physical positions, such as crouching, reaching high, or dealing with poorly regulated temperature and air quality. For those with chronic pain conditions, mobility issues, or mild physical sensitivities, this hour of discomfort distracts significantly from the cognitive task. The experience quickly becomes more physically painful or irritating than mentally engaging. The lifeline of the experience is the ability to ask the game master for hints, delivered via screen or speaker. But some personalities view asking for help as an admission of failure. This fierce independence prevents them from utilizing a necessary resource, leading to prolonged stalling on key puzzles and mounting frustration for the entire team. They would rather fail silently than accept guided assistance that compromises their perceived competence. Escape rooms are generally not inexpensive, and for individuals highly conscious of cost, the pressure to get their money's worth dramatically increases performance stress. If the experience falls short of high expectations or is failed quickly, the financial anxiety compounds the feeling of disappointment. This can lead to the activity feeling like a costly failure rather than engaging low-stakes entertainment. Even if the team successfully escapes, the highly stimulating, high-stress environment can lead to lingering emotional fallout, particularly for introverts who require quiet time to decompress after intense social interaction. The forced adrenaline rush, combined with the continuous group performance pressure, can leave certain participants feeling profoundly drained and mentally exhausted, rather than adequately exhilarated. The need for recovery time is often underestimated. Ultimately, the popularity of escape rooms should not overshadow the necessity of self-awareness regarding one's own limits and comfort zones. Recognizing that the combination of confinement, time pressure, and specific cognitive demands is incompatible with certain personal needs is not a weakness, but a strength in self-management. There are countless other enjoyable activities and recreational pursuits available. Finding the entertainment that aligns best with individual psychology is the true measure of success.